Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you joined us for our three-day Metals and Mining Conference. Our first presentation of the day is from Northern Superior Resources. Please note you may submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. And you can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings by clicking Book a Meeting in the top toolbar. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome our first presenter, Simon Marcotte. He's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Northern Superior Resources, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol NSUPF and on the TSXV under the symbol SUP. Welcome, Simon.
Well, thank you very much, John, for having me, and thanks for the introduction. And obviously, thanks to everyone who took the time to joining us today. I have only 30 minutes, which is not a long time because there's a lot to go through here. There's a lot going on for Northern Superior, a lot going on for a company this size. But before I jump into presenting the company, I will point out that if you have yet to get excited about the potential for gold price and the upcoming performance of gold stocks, especially the juniors, I recently published an article that I invite you to find. The article goes through why gold is going to go up a lot more than people think, and it is based on my expectation that real rates will go negative for an extended period, and this is based in the article I go through the current administration's strategy, economic strategy. And I go through some of the elements that are into Project 2025, and also in a paper that was published by Stephen Myron, who is now the chairman of President Trump's Councils of Economic Advisors. Going through this, I explain why we are going to see gold prices much higher than what is currently being discussed. If you want to find the article, simply Google my name, Simon Marcotte, and gold 30,000. This is what I believe we are heading. This is what oil did in the 2000s. I think gold is about to see the same type of bull market. So you can Google my name, gold 30,000, and you will find it. The article also includes a link to a YouTube video that I produced for one of our key investors from the Middle East that goes through these exact same things in a lot more details. So jumping into Northern Superior now. So Northern Superior is involved in the two provinces. So the province of Quebec on the right, and also the province of Ontario that you can see here on the left. We recently split the company in two. So we took our Ontario assets and created a new company called On Gold. So On Gold now has been listed for just about a year. Ticker is ONAU. And one point to understand is that we did not distribute yet our shares of On Gold. So Northern Superior currently owns more than 50% of On Gold. We didn't distribute those shares because we didn't want to impact negatively the price of On Gold. So ultimately, this is something we can do, but we have, On Gold, we have big plans for On Gold in Ontario. If you allow me, I will start actually by reviewing On Gold very rapidly, and then I can come back to Northern Superior, the mothership, as we call it, and go through what we're doing in Quebec. So on Gold, Northern Superior owns 56%. Agnico Eagle also owns 15% of On Gold, and On Gold is focused on Ontario. Ontario is very different from Quebec. It's a closed jurisdiction, yet very different. And to that effect, we have put together a spectacular team to lead On Gold. It is led by Mr. Kyle Stanfield, who has permitted several mines in Ontario and has not only a relationship, but a very good understanding of the needs and processes of local communities throughout Ontario. So that will help unlock value in Ontario for sure. One project we have into this company is Monument Bay. Some of you may remember Mega Precious. So Mega Precious was a company that owned Monument Bay. Yamana acquired Mega Precious for Monument Bay, and then Agnico Eagle acquired, as you know, the assets of Yamana, the Canadian assets of Yamana. And this asset was now on the back burner at Agnico and didn't deserve to be there. And Agnico saw us as the right custodian for this asset. And it's an asset that has significant mineralization. Already, if I include together the measured and indicated and a bit of inferred, you're looking at just about 3 million ounces. And the M&I is around 1.2 gram a ton. Next, for this project, our team has identified some great drill targets, so that will be drilled soon. So that would be the next catalyst for On Gold. And the second project that we have within On Gold is the famous TPK project. TPK, it is halfway between the Ring of Fire and Pickle Lake. TPK is North America's and potentially the world's largest gold and till anomaly. So there's, happy to dive into this, but it's all about finding the source of this gold. Since we got our permit last year, as you can tell, Barrick went around us and staked all around the project. One historical drill hole that indicates we're probably getting close to the source, 25 grams a ton over 13 meters. There's also a boulder that was found on this property of 727 gram a ton gold. So this could be a major gold discovery. So exciting. So we have, we're quite excited about this new company, On Gold, that we launched last year. So on this note, I will now come back to Northern Superior. Again, Northern Superior owns 56% of On Gold. So if On Gold is successful, obviously the shareholders of Northern Superior will benefit. So now on Northern Superior, quickly of who we are. Executive Chairman Victor Cantori, you may know him from the Perron discovery in Canada, Amex Exploration. We have Adri Delazar, who joined us from Detour, which, as you know, has been acquired by Agnico. We have Melanie Pichon that joined us from Eldorado. Katrina Demouni is corporate development for investors. Her number and contact details are at the bottom of any press release. She's based in London, England, very easy to reach. We also have an enormous amount of technical depth. I'm not going to go through this, but it allows us to punch above our weight class. And as far as the board, I'll mention we have recently appointed Eric Desaulniers, the CEO of Nouveau Monde Graphite. Graphite is not gold, but Eric is about to build a mine in Quebec, so he's in the right circles in the province at the moment. And we also have Michael Gentili, who is the largest shareholder as well of the company. On this note, I'll point out that in our last financing, we raised $8 million. This was fully underwritten by Cormark Securities. Out of the 8, 1 million came in from management, namely Victor, Michael, and myself. And after putting this incremental 1 million into the company, Collectively, the insiders of the company now own 25% of the company, which is quite unusual for a company this size. So quickly, this gives you a visual about where we're focused on. We are the southwest area of Chibougamau. Chibougamau is in Quebec. It is as good as it gets when it comes to location. Chibougamau is a mining town. I mean, there's two industries. There's mining and there's trees being cut for the lumber industry. So very good social acceptability. This gives you a bit more details about each of the projects. But if you allow me, I will just use this here to talk about the different projects. It'll be a bit clearer. So every project on this camp can benefit the other, and all of this can benefit from optimization. If you look between IAMGOLD and us, to be clear here, the second column on this table is the logos. So when you see IAMGOLD, that's obviously a project owned by IAMGOLD. When you see the other logo, that's our logo. That's obviously Northern Superior. Between IAMGOLD and Northern Superior, already we have collectively defined 12.4 million ounces and growing rapidly. And if you just allow me to look at this for a second, I know it's a busy slide, but I just want to make the point of how significant that is. Because if you look in the last 5 to 7 years, even during the dark days of mining, there's 3 camps that attracted capital and attracted infrastructure, and therefore a lot of companies did well, even when the markets were difficult. We're looking at Guyana, which has about 22 million ounces. We're looking at Yukon. We actually have 2 camps in Yukon, Central Yukon and West Yukon, so that are quite large. And then you have Finland as well, where Agnico is quite involved, and companies like Rupert, Orion benefited from that. And the camp of Finland is just about 12 million ounces. Well, this is the type of size that we already have at Chibougamau, and growing rapidly. So not only Northern Superior, but IAMGOLD is increasingly doing activity in the camp to grow these ounces. They recently published a new resource on Nelligan, which has 8.3 million ounces. Nelligan was the discovery of the year in 2019, which really transformed this camp. But there's one attribute of this camp that really got us to want to be involved in this camp. And it is that all of these deposits are very, very close to one another. So close, in fact, that if they are under one roof, under one company, or under one joint venture, or whatever the corporate structure, they could all feed the same mill, which would be the equivalent of having discovered a gigantic deposit. So by putting all of it together, you increase the viability of the ounces, and therefore you increase the value of those assets. So going back about 3 years, or a bit less than 3 years, all of the different deposits or resources that you see on this table, all of those were owned by a total of 5 different companies. So during the difficult years that we've had in mining in last 5-6 years, we took opportunity of that down cycle to consolidate those resources, which makes it that today all of these resources are owned by 2 players only, being ourselves and IAMGOLD. So very quickly, if I want to give you a bit of a color here, Nelligan provides the camp with the size. As I mentioned, it is 8.3 million ounces. It is a grade that is typical for a bulk tonnage operation. This is a project that is not very dissimilar to the Côté Lake mine, that IAMGOLD has now put into production, and very successfully so, and their stock price reflects that. Then we have Philibert. That's the second resource on this table. We're looking at just about 2 million ounces at 1.1 gram. A few observations here. So, Philibert, we're very active. We're just completing a 20,000 meter drilling program, which is quite a bit of meters. So you should expect a lot more results to come, and very good results came out in recent weeks. There's two reasons why Philibert can really increase the value of the camp here. First of all, it's the grade. The grade is 1.1 gram a ton, which allows obviously to lower the payback period of a potential unified camp. But there's a bit more than meets the eye here, because if we increase the cutoff grade just a tiny bit on Philibert, our grade becomes 40% higher than Nelligan. And that's important, because when you look at projects or bulk tonnage operations like this, really what makes or break the project will be the payback period. So the profitability of the first few years of production is absolutely paramount. So a higher grade to feed the mill of the camp will lower the payback. And also Philibert has a very strong metallurgy. So we've tested 3 of the key zones, and so far we have recovery of 93-95% plus. So that is very valuable for Philibert. Not that Philibert is not a standalone project. It absolutely has the potential to be a standalone project. As I mentioned, we already have 2 million ounces, but we've been drilling with a lot of success, and more drilling results to announce. To give you an idea of the size, the 2 million ounces that we have is within a pit of 3 kilometers. A few weeks back, we announced a big hit, 2.6 gram over 26 meters, 200 meters from the pit. Then other results, 750 meters, 800 meters from the pit. We are also getting a lot of very good results at the bottom of the pit. So you know, clearly this mineralization keeps on going. So we should be able to grow this resource well beyond the about 2 million ounces that we have already. So this is Philibert. Philibert is only 9 kilometers away from Nelligan, which means that if you would put a mill between Nelligan and Philibert, the trucking distance would be just about 5 kilometers. Well, that's about the 5 kilometers. To put things in context, those pits are about 3 to 4 kilometers long. So it gives you an idea of the scope of these potential operations. Moving on to the next resource on this table, the Lac Surprise. Lac Surprise, we really see that as the western extension of the Nelligan deposit. As I mentioned, Nelligan is about 8 million ounces in a 3 kilometer long deposit. Lac Surprise has the potential to add about 1.4 kilometer of mineralization to the west of Nelligan. We have yet to formalize ounces at Lac Surprise, but I'll point out that during the COVID days, the share price of Northern Superior went all the way up to about $1.50 a share. And this was on the back of the drill results at Lac Surprise. So clearly, a lot of people saw the value there. Then there's Monster Lake. Again, to be clear, this is owned by IAMGOLD, but it's a very nice asset for the camp. The grade is very appealing, at 14 grams a ton. This would be an underground mine, all right? It's an underground deposit, so it's something, a sweetener, as you call it. It's not dissimilar to also what you have in the Fort Knox mine complex of Kinross in Alaska. And then, without going into too much details, we also have Chevrier and Croteau in the area. Chevrier and Croteau, both of them. So Chevrier about 1 million ounces, close to 1.3 gram a ton. Croteau bit higher grade, 1.7 gram a ton on 640,000 ounces. But both Chevrier and Croteau are huge systems that can provide for a lot of blue sky potential to continue building ounces in this camp. We also saw IAMGOLD recently buying more assets in the camp, but one asset, one company that they bought was a company called Vanstar. So just to be clear, Vanstar was the company that originally discovered Nelligan. And then IAMGOLD came in through an earn-in agreement, and then there were JV 75%, 25% between IAMGOLD and Vanstar. And just a bit more than a year ago, IAMGOLD announced the acquisition of Vanstar to own the entire project. And they paid for Vanstar about $40 per ounce in the ground. And we are valued here at about less than $25 per ounce in the ground. So Northern Superior is valued at less than 25. IAMGOLD paid 40 per ounce, but this was when gold was a lot lower, around 2000. And also I'll point out that National Bank published a note about Nelligan and Monster Lake and the camp of Chibougamau, saying that this camp is not only the future of IAMGOLD, but it is a camp that's viable, and therefore they think that the value of this camp should be in line with what you see in the camp of Val d'Or, and we could see valuation a lot higher than that. They mentioned about $100 US per ounce, so converting that to Canadian, about $130 per ounce. So just to make sure I'm clear here, if you go on the left side on the screen, first blue column, that's our market cap, $97 million. Then second column, the dark blue, that's the value of the shares of On Gold that we own that are worth about 20 million. So the residual value there, the 76 million, that is obviously the value of our Quebec assets divided by the ounces that we have. We're valued at about $23 an ounce. And with our drilling program, the last 3 drilling program, we've been able to find ounces at a much lower cost than this. So every time that we conduct drilling and we put money in the ground, it's very accretive work, as we're able to build ounces below our valuation in a camp that is worth a lot more than our valuation. A little bit more about our recent drill program. So this is our resource. You see the resource pit. This was published in 2023. So as I mentioned, 200 meters southeast of the pit, we had 2.6 gram over 26.5 meters. And also just further down, 3.5 gram over 7.7 meters. That was 800 meters from the pit. And I mentioned that at the bottom of the pit, we were very successful. You can see about 30 meters of close to 2 grams a ton. And also one thing to understand about this deposit is before we got involved, this was only seen as an underground resource. There was an economic study that was done on Philibert way back when in 1991, only looking for the potential underground. So there's clearly higher grade material at the bottom of the pit and at depth. But as we're expanding our pit and we're making our pit wider, it allows obviously for the pit to go deeper, and more we are able to include in the pit the higher grade material that is a bit deeper. This does not mean there's no complete underground potential, because we believe that as we keep drilling, things remain open, as you can see here. And yes, there could be potential for underground beyond the open pit that we have. But to be clear, the resource that we published, the 2 million ounces at 1.1, it is entirely in the open pit scenario. It doesn't include any of the underground potential. Now quickly, as I mentioned, 25% ownership. Our share outstanding, as you can tell, 165 million shares. No warrants. We don't like warrants. It always ends up capping your stock. So we've been very good at raising capital when needed, with the right people, with the right partner, and on the right terms. Very proud of what we have achieved there. We have coverage from Cormark Security, who fully did fully underwrite our last financing. There's also there, just an image of the note that was published by a national bank on the camp, published under the banner of their coverage of IM Gold. And I think this concludes what I had to go through. Let me see if I can do a few questions here. So I am being asked what is the value of our on gold shares. So we own 35,686,686 shares, and at the current valuation of the share price, it's worth about $20 million. So I'm being asked what would happen in the event of M&A. As you can tell, I'm extremely bullish on gold. I don't think we would be looking for a fire sale and get out, because I think there's a lot of money to be made in this camp that's just waking up. And with the gold price going higher, we're there to make a lot of money here. Having said this, we're not in the business of turning down making money more quickly. So if an offer would come and we would like to consider it, definitely we can talk. As I mentioned, we own 25% of the shares as insiders, and I think with about 5 phone calls, I get to more than 50% of the shares. So no one can steal the company either. So we'll see how the camp evolves. And now I'm being asked also about our next milestones before the end of the year. So expect more drill results to come from Philibert, because we did pull the rigs because we drilled a lot, but there's still quite a bit of results to publish. Then we're turning into data compilation and analysis, and obviously most likely leading to another resource estimate at Philibert. And also on the Ontario side, I think drilling Monument Bay can bring some interesting news flow as well. On this note, I'd like to invite you to use the system and book a one-on-one meeting. All my availabilities are there. It'll be a pleasure to talk to anyone where we can provide a bit more color on things in a one-on-one meeting. So on this note, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll turn it back over to John. Thank you.